Hey, listen, you're tuned into Theo Kentucky, and today we're gonna answer the question, the big question, among all first-person shooters. What is better, Battlefield or Call of Duty? One gets a lot of hate, and one gets a lot of praise. Both hate each other. Most players that play Call of Duty hate people who play Battlefield. Most people who play Battlefield absolutely hate people who play Call of Duty. And I'm in the middle. And I'm stuck in the middle of this battlefield. I'm not on either front line. I'm right in the middle. I'm in like the main bunker right in between the two teams right now. I have Battlefield 4 and I have Ghosts. I'm going to say right off the bat, the Battlefield series is way more respectable because I'm going to say it's better. I'm going to say Battlefield is better than Call of Duty because it just feels wrong to say that Call of Duty is better, because even though I have a lot of fun on Call of Duty, there's always the BS stuff that happens, and there's always this. It's almost the same exact thing every year, and they barely innovate. All the stereotypical stuff that people tend to talk about when they hate on Call of Duty, but it's true, right? Battlefield 4 has been having some problems though, right? So I mean, it's not like Battlefield's perfect by no means. There are issues with stability and problems, little bugs and stuff that are happening. But honestly, the only reason why that's true, why that's happening, is because the game is just too ambitious. It is too big of a project. They tried to do too many things at once. There are way too many guns, right? They're like, oh, well, maybe we just make a gun for like everyone. Like, no matter who you are, you'll like at least one of these guns. There's like 5 different variants of every single gun. There's like 60 guns, a bunch of attachments, plenty of weird game modes. It's a little bit too ambitious when it comes to I really wish they just made like half the guns to choose from, so that way they didn't have to focus on balancing guns and they could focus more on just the stability and overall product of Battlefield 4. So it's really depressing to see, because I mean, honestly, it is a good game, and I really don't see why everyone just says it complaining about how bad it is, and how I don't really understand what you're talking about. I mean, the only thing I see is the camera wiggles unnecessarily during after you get killed or whatever in matches. That is all I see. I actually like the campaign a lot. I went through it, and I surprisingly like it. There was 2 levels that pissed me off, which were the tank levels where you had to be in a tank. Those were boring and hard, and I didn't like them. But other than that, the graphics were amazing. The story was okay. There was a pretty cool twist at the end. So I definitely think it was better than the Ghost campaign, right? Ghost just has so many problems. It's Infinity Ward, right? I mean, what do you expect? I mean, there's no way they can make a different game. No, it has to be Modern Warfare, right? It can't be, they tried to not call it Modern Warfare 4, but it really is just Modern Warfare 4. They called it Ghosts, that way people don't get ticked off, but I'm losing faith. Can that studio, do they have no creativity? Can they not think of anything else? They're at the drawing board right now, waiting on the 2 Call of Duties right now. From now, they're gonna be like, we didn't know what to do, so we made Ghosts 2, which is pretty much just Modern Warfare 5. So I mean, sorry guys, yeah, and we still have the same crappy engine from Ghosts in Ghost 2, but it's gonna be okay because you're still gonna buy the game because we're Infinity Ward. But Battlefield, everything that's annoying about that game isn't annoying. It's weird. All the stuff that really enrages you in Call of Duty, it just doesn't happen. It flat out doesn't happen for me in Battlefield. That's one of the main things I like Battlefield for, is that every time I die, I know why I died. And I know it's almost my fault all the time. There's not any extremely over, but there's obviously like good things, and maybe stuff needs to be balanced a little bit better, but nothing is like bad, annoying, like dual wield FMJ9s or whatever from Modern Warfare 3, or FAMAS from Black Ops 1, or you know what I'm talking about? There's always those things in Call of Duty that just tick you off, and maybe that might just be because the game is way more fast action and everything is on smaller maps, so you can see the problems that arise are way more obvious because they're on small maps and they happen to you more often. But I don't know, just Battlefield, I don't get that. I don't get mad like I do in Call of Duty. So but at the same time, I owe it to Call of Duty. Call of Duty, Black Ops 1, my first person shooter. I love that game. Still to this day, one of my favorite games I've ever played in my life. I don't really know what boat I fall in. I don't know if it's like, just every single Call of Duty is just worse than the last one, or like it's really hard to, you know what I'm talking about? It's kind of hard to judge Ghosts because it's not the first Call of Duty. It's the 10th one, and it's really hard not to judge it without judging the fact that it's the difference between it and Black Ops 2, the difference between it and Modern Warfare 3. I'm not judging Battlefield 4 with the Battlefield 3, and I'm definitely not judging it with Bad Company and 1940, whatever the heck the first one was called. They're completely different games. They're all like, it doesn't feel like the same crap every time. They reinvent the engine every single time. So it's completely different looking, great graphics. Call of Duty looks the same, and it has the same type of stuff in it. Ghost has really boring guns in it. There's nothing really cool that stand out like in World at War or Black Ops 1 had. I'm really, I don't want to be one of those guys that just says, "Oh, Call of Duty's just screwed." They're never gonna come back. I really hope the best for that, for Call of Duty, because, even though they're complete cash cows and are just trying to make as much money as possible, I hope the next Call of Duty is with Treyarch, because there are those rumors that Treyarch isn't working on it, and I'm scared because I like Treyarch way more than Infinity Ward, and if it's not Treyarch, I'm going to be ticked off. But I'm really hoping that they're going to get their act together and make a good game. I want it to truly be next gen this time. I want this next Call of Duty to not be on PS3 and Xbox 360. And I would literally say that even if I didn't have a PS4, because in order for it to move ahead, it can't be on the same console. They can't put it on Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Wii U. It's just not going to be a good game. You can't have it look good on the PS4 without crashing on the PS3. They really need to make the next Call of Duty truly next gen. Alright, Battlefield 4, Battlefield is good. The next thing, they just need to just make slight improvements, I guess. Work on stability of Battlefield 4. So, I think overall, the cake goes to Battlefield, but Call of Duty still has that call. When right away what game you're playing when you're playing Call of Duty, and honestly, it's just addicting as crap. If there weren't those annoying things in the game, which there always has to be annoying stuff. Honestly, they can't just take everything out and have everyone have fun, because it's a competitive online thing. You're going against other people, right? But at the same time, there's always those irritating stuff that happens in Call of Duty, and it's kind of sad. I really hope the best for Call of Duty. It's still fun. No matter what annoying stuff happens, it's still really freaking addicting. There's something about Call of Duty that is no other game's gonna be exactly like it. So I'm gonna have to say Battlefield is a better franchise, but Call of Duty, if they got their act together, I mean, I'd say they could win, but it just doesn't feel right. They've done too many things wrong. They're too lazy. They're too greedy. I mean, that's all I gotta say. Ookumpucky out.